All right, so this morning I'm going to be going over chapter 8, which is appropriate technology. The first thing the chapter talks about is what is appropriate technology. Appropriate technology is tech that is appropriate for the technical, cultural, and economic situation of a country. Kind of like how we talked about in the last chapter, you want technology that can be actually utilized by a country that would be feasible for them to use. For an example, the United States, we're pretty tech savvy, so we can receive some of the higher tech things, whereas like a country like Brazil in some parts can accept higher technology, in other parts it would be no use to them because it doesn't apply to their daily lives. So from there we get into renewable energy. Renewable energy is energy that can't be exhausted. It can replenish itself. It's for an example like the wind energy. Wind energy is not going to go anywhere. The oceans, the energy from the waves, that's not going to go anywhere. Stuff like that. The next thing that was touched upon in the first part of the chapter was smart growth. It's basically just developing while not hurting the environment. So as you develop, you're creating these new technologies where you're not going to hurt the environment, or you're transitioning your factories into be less environmentally impactful, stuff like that. Green buildings, being in construction, you do hear about green buildings every once in a while. They use minimal waste. They're recycled, renewed, or reused material. You can see that a lot with wood and composite. Sometimes people reuse old 2x4s. Not necessarily the best thing to do, but reusing old composites, crushing up old gravel and just reusing it on the driveway, just things kind of like that. One thing that really interested me in this chapter is the alternate energy vehicles. We all know you have electric vehicles like, Tesla, things like that. Tesla, I think even Toyota, Ford, all these companies are coming out with EV vehicles right now. You also have the hybrid EVs like your Toyota Priuses, and I even have like a mild hybrid, you could say. It's a Chevy Malibu with a little electrical motor that helps power it. But what I am most interested in is the alternate fuel vehicles, the things that run off of hydrogen fuel cell. I think those are fascinating, how they could just take the hydrogen and produce water vapor out their gasoline pipe. Is honestly, that should be the future, because our air is 70% hydrogen, so we have plenty of that, but yet our power grid can't support electric vehicles. So in my opinion, that's where we need to be going, not necessarily to electric, but now we get into economy versus ecology. Is the science going to be good for the economic system? This is a huge This is like a huge battle. And the book says that a lot of times people kind of put the two and two as like against each other. Honestly, I think we need to work on things that will help both ecology and economy. Science, if we are pouring billions of dollars into this stuff every year. Surely they can find something that'll help the economy and ecology. I interviewed with a company called ICM. They're working on biofuels like ethanol. I think they said they make 15 different sellable things now out of their ethanol plants, which is insanely cool. But that's an example of using science to benefit the economy. So now let's get into the international sustainability efforts, because honestly, if we as a country go green and other countries aren't, we're not really doing anything for the carbon footprint. But the ISO 14000, it basically wants sustainable business development. Let's see. The fair trade movement, it's just the opposite of free trade. It puts the producers first, incentivizes them, and Where I don't like that is I think prices are going to kind of go up. In the free trade market, if somebody puts out a product, then as long as they don't patent infringe or they're from a different country, then they can put out the same product a little bit cheaper, and you have a lot of competition on price. And when you bring a unique item to the market, then you actually get paid what it's worth. Ethnobotany, something I found really cool. Basically, they're studying how indigenous people utilize nature for eating, food, shelter, sleeping, medicine. Something that's really cool, and I think we got a lot of our modern medicine that way too. The next is basically tech equality. You want to make tech available to everybody. It's not just like class specific, like the upper class get the best technology and then the middle and lower classes just get the runoff. They want tech to be available to everybody. As far as the videos, the biomass one was super impressive. The hydroelectric, the dam, we went over that in Power Energy back when I took this class. I took a class with Mr. Jordan, like my first semester here. Geothermal, using the earth and the heat coming from the earth, is really neat. Be honest, I didn't watch that full video, so I can't comment too much on that. Ocean energy, I think that is super cool, using the tides as a way to harvest energy in the waves. I mean, as long as we have a moon, we're still gonna have tides and stuff like that. So I don't think that's going anywhere anytime soon. That's a very interesting take on something like that. Smart growth, just kind of gave a 30-second rundown of smart growth. You can kind of see it a lot more nowadays. The government incentivizes people to be better and be greener. That's about as much as I watch the videos. How does this affect me? I think honestly the most that this would affect me is I'm going to talk about the alternate energy vehicles, because I kind of mentioned it earlier, but I find the alternate fuel vehicles to be way more feasible than electric vehicles. What I think that we're running into an issue here is people don't know how they can charge for it. Right now they make insane amounts of money off of fuel and electricity. So the reason why we're not seeing hydrogen stations, you could hook up an air pump to your car and get hydrogen out of it. It's something that stupid simple. But the reason why we're not seeing these hydrogen fuel cell vehicles, I believe, is the same reason why the guy who made the water-powered car mysteriously died. It's because they can't find a way to make money off of it, so they aren't going to bring it to us on the market. We're always going to have to pay for something. They claim they love the environment, but they're always going to do what makes them the most money. So that being my last hot take of the video, I thought appropriate technology is really cool. I'm all about it. I'm just not ready to sacrifice the way I live to bend to that yet. I don't think we're there. When they come up with some ideas that are actually like applicable to us right now, then I could see myself moving towards that. But yeah, it's a cool chapter. I'll get on to chapter 9 and make a little video on that now. Thank you.